This is the benefits of the Republic and the European Union. Well, I've been standing here about 20 minutes. What I've seen about 200 people come past, loads of children. Death to the Republic. I said it before, I'll say it again. When I stood on the hill of Tara in 2008 and 2007, I knew this was going to happen. And the fact that you didn't listen only gives them more power. And this is just going to increase from 200 to 2,000. I was down the road as well. There's another 100 people down there. And then a bit further down, there's another 100 down there. Another 100 down there. They said there's only so many homeless. There's hundreds of people hidden all the hotels and all that. They sold off to all the foreigners. They're nothing but a bunch of dirty scumbag lying tramps piece of shit. They want taken out and put up against the wall and shot. That's the best thing for them. That's how you get everyone and whip everyone into shape. You go straight to the top, you walk in the door, you grab them all, you put them all up against the wall and you shoot them. Bang! And then you see, here's a couple of... these are making sure that everything runs smoothly for the government, that there's no violence around here, or no expression of anger at the fact that you live in a shithole. What they're there for is they're there to make sure. Now they be bored in the world and they'll grab a couple of homeless and throw them in the back of the van and keep the judges and all the solicitors in the job. They're not around here, you know, the solicitors and all. So what they do is they let loads of homeless in from abroad. Say, oh yeah, come over here, you don't need anything to come into this country, you don't need an education, you don't need a culture, you don't need anything. And make sure you come over here without a language and create a problem. Where most of the people here, a lot of them are Lithuanian, Polish, Romanian, they don't speak the language, they have alcohol problems, keeps all of the middle class, the donning and the job. That's what it's all about. Russians, Africans, Nigerians, Somalians, you name it, they all pass by here tonight. About 1,000. We'll say 500 at least anyway. If you go down the road, there's 1,000. And then the couples need a job because there's not really any crime in this country. Do you know what I mean? And there shouldn't be. The only crime in this country is the one being committed against the populace by the so-called elected rulers. Hey, this is not even supposed to. We've inherited lies from our fathers. That's what the Bible says. And the lie is the Republic. A republic is an imagination of a pagan society that's existed on this island for hundreds of years. That the Dan tribe, and they worship the goddess Dana Anna. She loves war and conflict and division, and here's the division. This is the division. You know? Did you ever watch Hansel and Gretel? And you're all right until you go and you go up and you see the witch's house. And it's made of sticky apples and toffees and all stuff like that. And then they're okay until you eat the witch's food. Well, that's sort of like what's happening here. Look, down the road there was boxes of donuts and stuff. Here we have loads of stuff. Now, there's a I'd say I don't do drugs myself, but I'd say there's a thriving drug thing here. So there's a fella up the road there. If you see here, up the top of the road here, if you look in the big, that's the Flashwood Hotel in Ireland. It's just one of them is just round the corner here. What is it called? And right next to it is an art gallery where they sell loads of bull art. And there's a bull inside the door. That's the bull's a bash, and that's the cult of the bull. Human sacrifice and suffering and all that. That's what it's all about. So if you walk around there, apparently the fella that designs all this bull art, his name is Bihan, and he's from Sheriff Street. And right outside Sheriff Street is one of the worst drug problems. And it's all Zimophines and all that. It's all imported straight from the European Union. Yeah, don't look at me like that unless you want sex, babe. Anyway, it's all imported stuff. But your man, he does all this art for, what you call it? He has all this art outside the United Nations, outside Brussels. Brussels is where the pagans destroyed this Christian culture in this country. Always comes from Europe. They send the hordes against us. So that's, and then you see the Zimophines. That's where you see everyone goes for the Zimos down the Sheraba, down along the quays there. But there's a fella who's in with the Brussels. Now Brussels is where they give all the contracts to GlaxoSmithKline Welcome for the hospitals and all of that. And I have to have the European legislation to keep everybody that's sick from building the church. You see, if you look around at a church stands there about 50 generations, polluted stones. That's what makes people sick. That's why you're the temple of God, not the stone. So if you replace the temple of God with a stone temple and don't see that you're the temple of God, God makes you sick and he puts a curse on you. You are cursed with a curse. Even this whole nation, the Lord says. Will a man rob God? You have robbed me even in your tithe and your offerings, and said, where have you robbed me? Well, you go into a stone temple and and you say inside the temple the Lord's name. The Lord's name. So this is the curse. This is God's curse. And it only gets worse. It gets worse until you pull down all the stone idols and everything. Oh, today I was in church in the Kingdom Hall, or in the Latter-day Saints, and this fella came up from Norway. And he's standing there going on about statues. But you're not supposed to have any statues or idols. So that's the rock creeping in. And when someone mentions building a statue or erecting a statue or an idol in a church, should be pulled out and bet around with a whip or something and slapped around. There's children listening to that, there is, and they think that it's good and it's proper to build idolatry and idols to saints and angels. God doesn't even want you to build an idol to him, never mind a saint or an angel. You know what I mean? He wants you to build children in the womb of your wife, so they will become the Lord's inheritance. He wants 10 and 12 and 15 and 13 and 14. That's what you were made for. It's like an apple tree is made to grow apples. A woman is made to make the Lord's inheritance. And the man is made to put the seed in there. The curse of the Dan government. Huh?